Here come the Panthers out on the field as they're the first out here. The orange-clad Bobcats are coming through. A great big sign that says "State Bound" as they come roaring out on the field. Both of these teams, you must realize, are already into the playoffs. The Permian Panthers are going in what is now called the small school division. The Bobcats, of course, because of their very large enrollment at Central High School, the largest in the district, will go into the large school 5A division playoff. I don't think there's any doubt that there's a lot of pride on the line. There's no doubt that both teams want to win this one very, very badly. The last time that this game meant this much was 1987, and that was when 1986. Pardon me, 1986, when the Bobcats defeated Odessa Permian at the stadium in Odessa and knocked the Permian Panthers out of the playoff picture, a 14-7 score in that one. Kurt, I don't really look at tonight that low scoring of a ball game.
No, I don't think so. We've got two great offensive teams. You know, a lot of people, you mentioned the fact the playoffs are already set. A lot of people say, well, that takes away the luster. I don't believe so. The teams really are focused on this game. They want the district championship first before they head on to the playoffs, and that's a worthy goal. The team's just about ready for the kickoff. Permian has won the toss. We'll take a quick break and be back with the opening kick in this battle of cats between the Bobcats and the Panthers from San Angelo Stadium.
Well, here we are. We're ready to kick this thing off. They're lined up on the field. The Permian Panthers will be defending the south goal, and the orange-clad Bobcats will be kicking off from the north. The game time temperature is in the upper 30s right now and dropping rapidly throughout the game. They're claiming tonight to the low 30s by the end of the game. There is very little wind, however. And I'll turn you over to Kurt Kiser for the play-by-play.
We're underway from San Angelo Stadium. High end over end. Taken by John Williams to the 5-yard line. Quickly back to the 15 and down at the 21. Good kick coverage by the Bobcats. That's where Permian will begin their first offensive series of the night. First and 10 from the 21-yard line.
Take another look at it here.
The Bobcats put a lot of their best athletes on special teams. You saw 32 Damon Carroll. He didn't make the tackle, but he did turn the return man back to the inside.
On offense, it'll be Bruce James at center. The guards, Eric Lubin and Mike Sims. At the tackles, it's Matt Lockey and Jason Cothran. Stormy Case at quarterback. Malcolm Hamilton, Timmy Ross behind him. Jared Bergen, Kendrick Parrott, Tony Daniels, the tight end. The pitch comes back to Timmy Ross. Ross slips as he hits the 22-yard line. Getting a hand on him was Chris Cloninger. As Ross tried to make a cut on the field. That's one thing that we hadn't really talked about. Permian used to playing on the turf. What are the questions? How they react on a grass field. They've handled it pretty well so far this season, but that's something we may keep our eye on.
Roger, how much moisture did you get down here yesterday?
We didn't get a lot yesterday, but the day before it was tremendous. We got a lot of rain in a 24-hour period, but this field hasn't been played on in 13 days, so it should be in good shape.
1-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 9 from the 22. Up the middle to Malcolm Hamilton. Stopped as the Bobcat defense right there in the middle. Hamilton nowhere to run as Benny Jones was the first one that got a piece of him. Just short of the 24-yard line where it'll be 3rd and long for the Panthers.
Benny Jones is one of those guys playing a pincher position for the Bobcats. He's the other back when the Bobcats use 2 running backs, which they rarely do. He wasn't getting a lot of offensive playing time, and pincher is the perfect position for him because he's just the right height to get under the quarterback's chin, and he can really run.
Kendrick Parrott goes out wide to the right side. The back split behind Stormy Case. 3rd and 7. Case to throw. Rolls out to the right. In the air, and it is incomplete. Intended for Kendrick Parrott. Tony Daniels also in that vicinity. Chris Cloninger defending, and the Panthers forced the punt on their first offensive series.
Well, Case rolls back. He has the man wide open, and he certainly has plenty of time to throw the ball. The man was coming back towards the ball and just flat with a bad throw and a missed catch.
I think when he put his foot down, his left foot, as he planted and threw, it slipped just a little bit, and that caused the pass to go off course.
Shane Wells back to punt. Shane at 34-yard average coming in tonight. Gets the kick away high. It's Spyro. Down at the 35-yard line. About a 3-yard return.
Damon Carroll caught the punt, and they were right there in his face, but he's the kind of guy that does not like to make a fair catch.
Well, he had some real speed coming down the field on top of him. Wells held the ball for a long time. I was kind of looking for a flag to be thrown because it looked like the lineman may have released a little bit early on that. but worked out well. No flag on the play. Let's see what the orange-clad Bobcats can do.
Bobcats, Greg Hayes at center. Jason Blackman and Jason Box, the guards. The tackles, John Green and Jonathan Casey. Shea Morenz, the quarterback. He's back to throw up the middle. It is intercepted by Michael Comer, and the Panthers on the first play get the ball back in Bobcat territory.
That was meant to be a quick hitter to the tight end, Charles Vogel. He was looking back for it, but he just did a great job of anticipating it.
Comer just simply stepped in front of it. The Permian linebackers were all taking a deep drop, and Comer does a great job of juggling the ball and gaining control as he goes to the ground. Big break. The first break of the ball game goes in favor of Mojo.
Morenz has been intercepted just 6 times in 216 attempts coming in tonight. Permian gets it at the Bobcat 44-yard line. Stormy Case, 2 receivers to the right side, puts Ross in motion, who gets the football. Ross cuts up to the 40, the 39-yard line. Good pickup on first down by Timmy Ross, brought down by Tony Aragon.
Richard Barone had a shot at him in the backfield. That would have made it a loss.
Well, Timmy Ross is not very big at 135 pounds, and this is one that is really only 135 pounds, but he has great balance, and he is a very tough runner to bring down.
Under the 10-minute mark as Wagner and Bergen go wide to the right side. 2nd and 5 for Permian at the Bobcat 39-yard line. Stormy Case has Malcolm Hamilton, the lone back behind him. Now he flips it back to Ross, who's in motion again. Bobcat defense was there that time as Penny Jones was in on the tackle. It'll be 3rd down.
The Panthers look like they're back in that pattern. We've seen the Mojo teams of the past run the ball, and then pick their spots for the deep pass. Do you think we might be ready to see one of those?
Well, Roger, the Mojo pattern has really kind of broken over the last couple of 3 years as they have gone more and more and more to the aerial game. In recent games, they have been much more balanced ball club than that. In fact, at times, they have been a passing ball club. But when they get in trouble, they go back to what they know best, and that's the run.
3rd and 3. That's John Williams just in the game trying to turn the corner. Cannot do so. The Bobcat defense throws him for a loss. Ben Montgomery made the big play for Central.
Montgomery saw that coming all the way.
So the Bobcat defense does their job after the turnover, gave Permian the ball at the 44-yard line. The defense actually pushes them back to the 45, where Shane Wells is called on again, this time trying to pin the ball deep in Central territory. He'll get the ball away from about his own 45-yard line. Good snap. Shane again, plenty of time. High spiral, fair catch called for, but none taken. It bounces inside the 5-yard line and down at the 1. That's what you call deep in Central territory.
Now the pressure is back on the Bobcats. They turned it over on their very first play.
This is the way you teach them to do it in the practice session. Get out on the goal line, turn around, and catch the ball as it comes to you. I almost was afraid that he was going to have his feet in the end zone, but he did get his knees down on about the 1-yard line.
That was
good call by the officials.
Dusty Dennis, who got the ball down at the 1-yard line, I believe. 8:16 to go in the first quarter. No score. The Bobcats' second series, their first one, and a turnover on the first play. Shea Morenz, David Hamilton in his backfield. Receivers to the right side. Morenz keeps it on the ground. No, it's on the option. In the backfield, he gets out of the end zone and just barely gets out of the end zone.
Well, he absolutely did not fool the corner contain man that time with the option play, as he just sat there and waited for the play to come to him.
Steve Kelly, the one that made that play on the outside, Don.
Good job of tackling. Almost had him in the end zone.
The Bobcats used an extra wide out there to try and spread the defense, and they almost fooled it except for Kelly.
No gain. 2nd and 10 from the 1-yard line. 7:40 and counting left in the first quarter. Morenz drops deep in the end zone to throw, gets it away, and it's incomplete. The pass was intended on the right side right there.
Byron Bodie?
Byron Bodie, that's the one. A little low.
Comer
Cherry
also
defending.
is out here to help break up this pass. Chris Comer does a great job of getting out there in front of it, getting a hand on the ball. I think he's the one that actually batted it downward.
A lot of coaches, when they see their quarterback throw a pass like that, would suddenly inhale in terror. But Morenz is just so accurate that he he believes that he can get the ball into a small spot like that. He was just a little bit off that time.
Damon Carroll, the top receiver in the district, is wide to the right side. It's 3rd and 10. Bobcats in the 1. Again, Morenz to throw. Pressured. Gets it away, and it's intercepted. Court Peterson at the 35. Inside the 30. Down to the 21, where he's knocked out of bounds.
Out of bounds at about the 10-yard line, and there are 2 flags thrown in there at one time. I'm not sure whether it was a clip or what, but I would presume on a return like that, probably a clip has been called.
So Shea Morenz, who came in with an outstanding ratio of interceptions to completions, has had 2 picked off here in the very first quarter.
Well, give that credit of that pickoff to the man who hammered him back in the end zone as he was trying to throw the ball, because he got hit just as he released it. And it is a penalty and a clipping penalty against the Permian Panthers. Going to move the ball all the way back to the about the 26-yard line, where they'll set up shop with a 1st and 10 from the 26.
For Court Peterson, his 4th interception of the year. That leads Permian. Michael Comer had one earlier, his 2nd of the year. Permian has not yet picked up a first down.
Well,
but they have moved the ball down the field through turnover.
Yeah, defensively, they have played very well. Offensively, the San Angelo defense, which was the question mark, was absolutely stopped.
7 minutes, 34 seconds left to go in the first quarter of play. Stormy Case brings the play in from the sidelines as Kendrick Parrott will go wide to the right side. Permian their best field position at the 26-yard line of San Angelo Central. Up the middle, Malcolm Hamilton, a little bit of room, but it quickly closed around him as he takes it to the 21. It'll be Tony Aragon on the stop for the Bobcats.
I think we're going to see the same advantage-disadvantage situation no matter which team has the ball. It seems like both Permian's and Central's offenses are a little bit bigger and stronger, and the defenses are a little longer on quickness.
Well, that was just plain old smash-mouth football that time. They just simply power run right straight up the middle.
4-yard pickup. We'll call it 2nd and 6. Coming down on the 7-minute mark. Case has Wagner to the left side. He puts Hamilton in motion to the right. Up the middle to Michael Comer inside the 20-yard line. Michael using the backfield. Normally the blocking back. Benny Jones on the tackle. That time they give him the football. It'll be 3rd down for the Panthers.
Well, this is Permian's version of the wishbone. They line one back up actually in an I formation, but one back up very, very close behind the quarterback. Hand the ball to him and try to let him wedge a couple of yards out.
3rd down and 3. 6:25 left. We are in field goal range for Shane Wells. And coming into the game, Shane has kicked 6 field goals this year. 3rd and 3 from the 19. Case puts Ross in motion. Up the middle, Malcolm Hamilton. He'll be very close to the first down. Kelly Beagill with the stop.
I believe he got the first down. It's going to be very close where they marked the ball. But, well, no. Where they marked the ball, I'm not sure. It's going to be very, very close. He may not have made it where they marked it. I thought he had progressed all the way to the 15-yard line, but they're marking it back at about the 16, or a little short of the 16.
I would think they'd go for it. 4th and short, big game like this.
Well, they're going to bring it out and measure it.
Clock shows 6 minutes and 1 second left to go in the first quarter of play. No score yet in this game, where a crowd of over 20,000 watches on from San Angelo Stadium. It'll be short by a couple of inches.
Very, very close.
And there you see Coach Pam Hollington saying, we're going on 4th down.
He is short by about 1.5 inches here.
And he wasn't scratching his head as he said, let's go.
He made the decision quickly, I think.
I think you're right, Roger. I think that was an affirmatively, let's go.
The Bobcat fans are on their feet, urging on their defense in the biggest play of this ball game so far, 4th and inches from the 16-yard line. Under the 6-minute mark. Stormy Case hands it off to Hamilton. He's got the first down.
Well, that's the first down of the ball game. We are now 5 minutes, 51 seconds left to go in the first quarter of play, and we have our first down. It's the oldest saying in the world, but I think it's also the truest. Defense wins ball games. Offense pleases the crowd. And defenses are playing well tonight.
When you're talking about defenses, really, we can throw stats out the window except for scoring defense, and you won't find two better defenses. The Bobcats give up 7.3 points a game. That's second in the district, and the Panthers give up 4.4. Both teams have several shutouts behind them already.
1st and 10 Permian from the 14. Case rolls to the right, looking to go in the air, trying to find Parrott, puts it away, and it's incomplete.
Well, he threw that one away because his lone receiver that he had down there was absolutely blanketed deep in the end zone. He had absolutely nowhere to throw that football.
Ben Montgomery is not nearly so fast as Parrott, but he does a terrific job of covering him.
Well, when you get down this far, you don't take a lot of speed. You just got to be able to stay with him because there's not that much territory to run in.
One thing the Panthers are trying to do is do something no team has done all season long against the Bobcats, and that is score in the first quarter. It hasn't happened in 8 ball games. 2nd and 10 from the 14. 5:26 left in the quarter. The pitch comes back to Hamilton inside the 10 and down to the 5.
That's going to be close to another first down, and Chris Cloninger, the strong safety, had to come up and tackle him.
Okay, this is just a little pitch play, and then he does a great job of cutting back on this and finding the crease. I don't believe he got the first down. He's just on the 5-yard line. He's got to go to the 4 for a first down here.
Wagner and Comer both check in on a 3rd and 1. 4:55 and counting left in the first quarter play. Permian trying to draw first blood in this battle of unbeaten at San Angelo Stadium. Case back to Hamilton up the middle. He has the first down. It'll be 1st and goal Permian as Malcolm Hamilton takes it to the 3-yard line. Malcolm Hamilton's been the workhorse on this drive.
Well, this is just in your face, here I come type football. They're challenging the dead middle of the Bobcat defense, and so far have had a little success there. Not the only place they've had success.
As long as they can keep going up the middle, that kind of negates the pincher defense. As long as the quarterback doesn't have to come down the line for any options, or if he isn't forced to throw, then I imagine they'll just keep doing that.
1st and goal from the 3, and there'll be movement along the line against Permian as Michael Comer took one step right before the snap, couldn't get set again.
Yep.
And that'll push Permian back to the 8-yard line.
Makes it tough. It's a whole lot tougher to have 1st and 8 than it is to have 1st and 3.
Big games, you always talk about the mistakes. Neither team wants to make them. Bobcats have had 2 uncharacteristic turnovers through interceptions. Permian, the penalty right there when you get down to the 3-yard line. But at the same time, big games like this filled with emotion, a lot of times you're not too surprised to see mistakes.
The turnovers you're talking about, one of them may lead to a touchdown here, but I don't think it will have the same effect on eroding the confidence of the Bobcats like it might have on other teams, because Shea Morenz has thrown interceptions before and come back to throw touchdowns.
1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Timmy Ross in motion. Hamilton up the middle, inside the 5, down to the 3. So he gets the penalty yardage back as Benny Jones makes a stop.
Once again, Hamilton right back up through that middle of the line. Good point you made, Roger, about this negates a lot of the defensive strategy that the Bobcats employ.
And now they're going to go to a 6-man front. They brought in number 58, Sean Carter, and they'll take out one of their secondary men.
Ball is at the Bobcat 3-yard line.
2nd and 3 Permian as the Bobcat defense tries to hold them out of the end zone with 3:35 and counting left in the first quarter of play. Hamilton trying to turn the corner and head to the end zone, and that's a mojo touchdown for Malcolm Hamilton. As he
Great
takes it
individual
in.
effort this time by Hamilton as he simply steps outside of some contain and breaks a tackle or two. The play was stuffed right there. He steps outside and on some individual effort just outran and outpulled people into the end zone, carried one man on his back.
Shane Wells will try for the extra point, in which he's been very accurate this year. Shane is 46 of 49 extra point attempts. So he's going for number 47. As Stormy Case, who just led his team into the end zone, will do the holding. The touchdown comes with 3:28 left in the first quarter. Snap back, and the kick is through the upright. 3 minutes and 28 seconds left in quarter number 1 from San Angelo Stadium as the Permian fans cheering the first 6 points of the evening. It's Permian leading San Angelo Central 7-0. This is a Super 7. KLS.
And with his strength, just carries it in. That sets up a 7-0 score in favor of Mojo. And as you said, Kurt, that's the first score that the Bobcats have given up in the first quarter of a ball game all year long.
The scoring drive for Permian took 9 plays to cover the 26 yards. After the interception, 4 minutes and 6 seconds off the clock. It was Malcolm Hamilton that took it in from 3 yards out. And for Malcolm, that is his 17th touchdown run of the year as he leads District 4-5A in points, and he adds to that total here this evening.
Well, there's a lot of rivalries in this game, and I've had one going on around my my household all year, or all week, I guess. My son, of course, graduated from San Angelo Central High School, played for the Bobcats. His wife is a graduate from Permian High School, and they're here tonight, and I think they're speaking, but that's about it.
One of those mixed marriages, huh?
Yeah.
There's the kick by Shane Wells, brought in by David Hamilton. Hamilton
Whoa.
hit hard at the 17-yard line as the Panthers quickly came down there.
Hamilton is a straight-up runner who's been able to make people miss all year long, but you can't make someone miss when someone has your ankles tied up and
Boy,
here
I tell
comes
you
his
what,
friend.
this hurts. I guarantee you this hurts, folks. Here is a plowing hit. I mean a plowing hit.
Mike Boyer making the big hit there for Permian, as the Central will start at 1st and 10 from their own 17-yard line. There's 3 minutes and 22 seconds left in the first quarter. Hamilton alone back behind Shea Moranz. Moranz gives it to Hamilton, who takes it to the 20-yard line before he is pushed back.
He looks like he's okay.
Yeah, he is a very, very impressive runner. Really is. He runs very hard and has got a lot of quickness. I don't know about speed, but he has a lot of quickness. Some great quick feet right there that gained him an extra 3 or 4 yards, and they simply couldn't get him on the ground.
He's not quite as good, obviously, as Amp Lee of Florida State, but he makes moves in the same way. He doesn't seem to be gritting his teeth and giving it his all as he makes the moves that leave the tacklers grabbing for air.
Hamilton 613 yards coming into this ball game tonight. Moranz drops the throw, looking left side. It's completed to the 30, back to the 29-yard line as he picks up the first down. Brian Tucker made the first hit, and Shea Moranz has his first completion of the night.
Good pass, good catch, great pattern run. This is a excellent job by the offensive line. They give him lots of time to throw the football, and the receiver runs an absolutely outstanding pattern. He just found a little hole in that zone defense, sat out and waited for it. A lot of white shirts get there eventually, but they're way too late.
With the strength of Morenz's arm, he can drop back 12 yards and still get the ball there on time.
1st and 10 Bobcats at their own 30-yard line. The handoff to Hamilton. Some running room as he takes it to the 35, the 36-yard line. There was Tony Perez that was in on the stop that time for Permian. About a 5-yard pickup.
We talked about the defenses early, but I think that touchdown was a wake-up call for the Angry Orange as they're kind of got that Orange Blossom special rolling down the field right now.
There's a long way to go to the end zone, but this is what I was talking about. Morenz's confidence is not shattered, and his confidence and the team's confidence are one and the same.
Whoa.
Big hit.
Big hit. Tony Daniels.
Daniels made the stop as the Bobcats keep it on the ground. There'll be no gain on the play, so it's 3rd and 5. Watch Tony Daniels.
Sorry about that. When I talked to the Central coaches this week, without a doubt, the 2 players on the Panthers defense that concerned them the most were Daniels and number 62, Brian Tucker. Just great athletes.
1:15 and counting on a 3rd and 5 from the Bobcats' 35-yard line. Moranz to throw, pressured, gets it away. It's completed at the 49-yard line. The pass to Damon Carroll.
And I tell you what, he completed that one off of his, as he was hit. Moritz was hit very, very hard just as he threw the football. Watch this. He takes a pretty good lick and knew it was coming, but it's a perfect pass and a great catch.
Damon Carroll is probably his favorite receiver and a fan favorite. Damon has caught 725 yards worth of passes coming in and 11 touchdowns. And I just hope for the fans' sake we get to see him celebrate a little bit in the end zone. He's very animated. And they don't throw flags on him here like in the NFL.
That's good news. Moranz to throw again on 1st and 10. He's pressured from behind. Gets it away. Completed. Down to the 32-yard line.
A clipping call right back to the backfield. It would happen just before the pass was thrown. That's all coming back for nothing.
And I'm not sure that Byron Bodie didn't bobble the ball just a little bit before he actually grabbed it.
Well, it's all for naught because there's a clip, and you'll see it on your screen. Not sure who that is chasing, but right there's the clip. Rather obvious.
Good call.
Right in front of the official. Good call.
Sam Brooks was applying the pressure.
And boy, that's something for me to say a good call from an
yeah,
official.
that is unusual.
That happens about once or twice a year.
Especially this year. Yeah.
Didn't these guys work the World Series? They did a pretty good job.
Sam Brooks has been questionable all week long for Permian. He's not been able to practice, well, hardly at all, as he's had ankle problems.
A lot of
He's
teams
in there now.
A lot of teams, when they're in this position, they get a 15-yard penalty. They would think, well, let's just move it up a little bit and get into a decent place to punt. But that's not how the Bobcats are going to think.
Yeah, that's 15 yards from the point of the foul, so it really sets it up way back down the field. Let's see. There's 10. There's 20. There's 10. There's 20. There's almost 30. Over 30 yards.
First and 28 from the 28-yard line. 41 seconds are left in the first quarter of play. Morenz comes out of there with the ball, but he's hit at the 31-yard line by Jerry Sims. Also in there was Scott Cherry, combining to make the stop.
Without a doubt, the Bobcats are an extension of Dan Gandy's personality. He likes a wide-open offense. And when he gets into a game like this, a game of great magnitude where the stakes are very high, he's not against using a trick play. So don't be surprised if we see a trick play come out, though I don't know if some kind of double reverse in the backfield would fool the Panthers on second and so far to go.
3-yard pickle on that play, so it's still second and 25. That may have been the last play of the quarter. There's 2 seconds on the clock, and Central will not get a play away. The first quarter has come to an end at San Angelo Stadium. The battle of unbeaten for the championship in District 4-5A. And after one complete, Permian leads San Angelo Central 7-0. This is a Super 7 KLSC. And we're back at San Angelo Stadium, ready for the second quarter to get underway. Kurt Kiser along with Roger Smith and Don Scott. Bobcats controlling the football from their own 31-yard line on a 2nd and 25. And Roger, as you mentioned earlier, a lot of teams are worried about a 2nd and 25. When you've got Shea Morenz as your quarterback, you're not as concerned about that.
Probably not. But like I said, this is a place where the play action's not going to fool the Panthers at all. They wouldn't mind giving up 15 or 20 of it. They'd still have a 3rd and 10 to go.
Second quarter ready to get underway. Shea Morenz drops. He's hit. He's sacked back at the 20-yard line. Tony Daniels came in there along with Sam Brooks combining on the sack.
Well, you're right. They weren't worried about a play action, and they just simply, 2 of them blew right through the offensive line, and Shea just never had a chance to set up even. They arrived with the feet ball.
Now what do you call?
Well, now's when you look to the sideline and the coach has got his back turned. He says, you got into this, you get out of it.
There's not much you can do with a 3rd and 39. Don't have many plays in the book that will accommodate that situation.
But Morenz is going to throw. Daniels pressuring again. He's chased, and it is completed, but well short of the first down to the 25-yard line. Brian Tucker all over the receiver, Byron Bodie, who made the catch, but still the Bobcats will be forced to punt for the first time tonight. Their other 2 series ended in interceptions. Well, this one ends in a punt.
This is a coverage situation here. I mean, his receivers downfield were just absolutely blanketed that time. He had no place to go. Finally threw to a checkoff man. It was about his 3rd receiver that he looked for. He's an amazing young man. I sat there and watching him. I mean, he doesn't just pick out somebody he's going to throw to when he comes out of the huddle. He's actually running a pass offense. He's looking downfield. He's looking for people to throw that football to.
They might have gotten Tucker for a face mask on the tackle, but I can't remember the last time I saw number 62 covering a wideout. He's a pretty good athlete.
15-yard face mask penalty is going to set it up. It'll still be 4th down, I believe.
No, it's 1st down.
It'll be a...
They just are signaling for a 1st down.
Yeah, they're going to get, that's right, it's an automatic 1st down. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down. So there's your 3rd 39 play.
Exactly. You induce the other team to grab your face mask and make it look flagrant.
Hey, boy, I tell you what, that's a good call. I have to remember that one. Coach needs to write that one down. That's a great call.
So it's 1st and 10 Bobcats from their own 37-yard line after a big penalty. Receivers right and left for Shea Morenz. Moran's to throw. Daniels chasing him, can't get him. Moran's will go down the sidelines and pick up a first down, or at least be very close to it.
Now, guys, I know this has nothing to do with the strategy of the game, but Panthers is not a Native American type nickname, and yet I hear the Florida State theme. I see the tomahawk chop over there. How did this start? Is this new?
That's
I tell you what,
a subsidiary of Mojo, I think. I'm not sure.
The last 4 ball games that we've done, somebody has started this crazy chop thing.
The chop has replaced the wave.
I love it almost as much as I do the wave.
The wave's been around since '84, so the chop got a ways to go. 21st century.
2nd and 1, 9-yard pickup for Moran on the ground. Now he'll go to the air and complete it for a first down. The catch by Marcus Bibbs will take it into Permian territory. Steve Kelly makes the stop.
Marcus Bibbs is a kid who has a tender left hand because the skin between the pinky finger and ring finger on that left hand was split open by a Shea Moran's bullet. That was about 3-4 weeks ago, and he thought he had it healed up, and the next time Shea threw him a hard pass, it broke open again.
Did it again, huh?
But he has those 2 fingers taped together, and he's wearing a glove on the hand, and he made the catch there.
For Bibbs, his 21st completion of the year. 1st and 10, Central at the 47-yard line of Permian. Moran's hands it off. In the backfield, Hamilton with room. Hamilton the first down as he takes it to the 35-yard line.
That's his Hamp Lee imitation.
Steve Kelly the stop, but not before the Bobcats go deep into Permian territory at the 35.
We see thus far in the game, the Panthers have a 7-0 lead because the Bobcats helped them out with a couple of turnovers early. But the Bobcats are blocking the Permian defensive front as well as Permian is blocking Central.
Pardon me, they're both doing a great job on the offensive line at this point.
Under the 10-minute mark, Moran runs with the ball. Hit and down on a big tackle by Hubert Collins that picked Shea Moran's up and threw him to the turf.
Regardless of how the rest of this game goes, Shea will already be sore.
Oh, yeah. This is a WWF move that I think Hubert Collins learned. Up and down.
Boy, that was a smash.
That's a 3-yard pickup that Shea Moran's will field tomorrow. Yeah, they gave him 4 yards. That was worth an extra yard just to take a hit like that.
Goodness.
2nd and 6.
There's a little intensity in the hitting.
9:15 and counting. Moran's pressured. Gets it away. It's incomplete. Intended for Damon Carroll. It feels like he was interfered with. No flag will come out. Tony Perez defending on the play. It'll be 3rd down.
You see that Moran's is almost like Dan Marino in his ability to just make one step one side or the other and evade a very tough rush like the one he saw right there.
Well, he is certainly an outstanding athlete. I don't think anybody doubts his ability because we saw it last year as a junior. Certainly, people all over the state are talking about the young man. I think he is a Division I college prospect. Which college, I have no idea. But he's headed somewhere.
3rd and 6 from the 31-yard line. Moran's gets it away across the middle. It's completed. Inside the 20, the 15, down to the 10-yard line. Nearly picked off by Michael Comer. Instead, Marcus Bibbs makes the connection with Shea Moran, and the Bobcats have it deeper into Permian territory.
For just a second, Marcus had a look-what-I-found look on his face, but then he was heading for the end zone.
Well, you missed it on the replay, but believe me, Shea Moran paid a big price for completing that pass because he took one right in the middle of his rib, underneath his arm, and that had to hurt.
The Bobcats have it 1st and 10, just inside the 11-yard line, so they could pick up a first down without scoring. It'd be tough to do, but they could do it. 8:45 and counting left in the first half. Bobcats trying to come from behind. Hand off to David Hamilton, throwing for a loss of about a yard.
They had 2 tight ends on that play, probably thought it would work better. The Bobcats have a rushing goal of 200 yards a game. They have that goal not for any imperatives, but just to have a goal. They've only met it once this year, so it doesn't seem to bother them too much. But I think they would want more production out of a play when they bring in a second tight end.
Brian Tucker making the defensive play that time for Permian. They spot the ball at the 11 where it'll be 2nd and 10, still at the 11-yard line. 8:10 and counting left in the first half. Moran to throw. into the end zone. It's completed. The Bobcats have scored. The touchdown pass to Damon Carroll.
The official says, give me the ball, son. Don't get overzealous. But how can you blame him in a situation like this?
Boy, I tell you what, that official's hand sure did go to his pocket there. I thought he was going to get one. There is not a specific rule in high school football that prevents a demonstration in the end zone other than one that is against taunting. So
the extra point is good. Nearly blocked off the foot of Byron Bodie. But
the only thing I think they could ever penalize him for would be delay of game.
Let's watch the touchdown one more time. The pass completion from Shea Moran.
It's a trips left formation. And again, number 62 covering a wideout. Tucker's a terrific athlete, but he can't cover Damon Carroll by himself.
Well, when they get to that trips with Permian's defense, they have to walk a linebacker out to cover the inside man. So if you set the inside man as a good wideout, you're going to have a linebacker on him, and that's the coverage they've been able to work and set up.
If you're going to look for a trend here, I would say the Bobcats have at least shown they can take the Panthers' best shot and come right back.
The scoring drive for San Angelo Central started in the first quarter from the 17-yard line. They took it 17 plays, 83 yards in 7 minutes and 19 seconds. And the biggest play of the drive would be the face masking penalty against Permian, which prolonged that drive. With 8 minutes and 3 seconds right now, we've got a tie ball game at 7-7, which is just what you would like to see when you have a battle of two unbeaten playing for district championship. It's been exciting.
Good ball game.
It had been a game of field position up to now. The Bobcats, until that scoring drive, were not able to get it in the Permian end of the field. Now, if Bodie can kick it deep and they can cover it well, suddenly Permian will have to start operating with its end zone close by.
There's a kick from Bodie. Will be taken at the 5-yard line. Back to the 15, the 20, right up the middle to the 35-yard line. A nice return by John Williams, I believe, but I can't really see the number. It's hidden inside him. Okay, instead, that was Alan Strambler who returned the ball.
Strambler. Seems I've heard that name before.
Yeah, but you heard it wearing a Lee Rebel
That
uniform.
was Ferris Strambler, and down here near San Angelo, there was a fine running back named Terry Strambler for the Ballinger Bearcats.
So Permian will start at 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line. Parrott and Bergen both go wide to the right side. Under the 8-minute mark, as the pitch comes to Timmy Ross, who nearly fumbled it, but goes ahead just short of the 40 before he's brought down by Kelly Beagill and Benny Jones.
Very important that Kelly Beahill is going to be in there. He ran into Tony Aragon, the Bobcats middle linebacker, during Tuesday practice, got a bruise on the knee. Actually, it was a strain of the medial collateral ligament, and it was a question up until game day whether he'd be able to go. And if he isn't able to go, then they have to do a lot of shuffling in the secondary and put guys in positions they don't like to put them in.
The medial collateral. Thank you, Dr. Smith.
Medial collateral is always better than anterior cruciate.
You betcha.
I see. Yeah, all right.
2nd and 5 from the 40. Pace the throw, has a man wide open. Tony Daniels down to the 42-yard line. Stephen Roloff tripped him up. The completion takes it into Bobcat territory.
And Roloff is the tackler of last resort for the Bobcats. He's playing free safety, and they want him to play a true free safety. Unless there's a receiver that he has to cover all by himself, he's the last guy. And if Daniels gets past him, he will probably go for 6.
1st and 10 Permian at the central 41-yard line. 7 minutes to go in the half. We're tied 7-7. Wagner and Bergen both wide to the right side. Hamilton will get the football. Hamilton spins inside the 40-yard line and pushed back to the 39.
Well, he tried just one time. One move too many that time.
Richard Barone, the pincher over here on the left, had a shot at him. Number 40 does the pirouette. There he misses him. And then the other teammates turn him back in. And Barone says, I'll just stay here. And he gets a part of the tackle.
Tony Aragon making the final stop. And we mentioned the wave. Hey, we're seeing the wave tonight.
The wave
and the chop in the same stadium.
Oh, me.
What a
I'm
night.
not sure I can handle this.
You need a partisan crowd to keep the wave going all the way through. I'm sure we won't get cooperation here tonight.
2nd and 8 from the 40.
Wishbone.
Up the middle. Malcolm Hamilton again the ball carrier. Chris Uzo the stop.
You're right, Roger. It's not really the wishbone, but it's kind of Permian's version. It's kind of an eye bone.
Kind of a broken bone. They sent one of the guys in motion.
Well, yeah, but they line him up in an eye, except that they line that front one up so close behind the quarterback, he's in the same position as a wishbone tailback. It's a different formation.
Now here's a big 3rd and 4. As well as the Panthers have been running, they might run, they might play action.
5.5 minutes left in the half. Bergen and Parrott to the left, Will Wagner to the right. Case completes it for a first down to Kendrick Parrott, down inside the 15-yard line.
No,
Pushed
he
out of
steps
bounds.
out of bounds at the 22.
Okay, pushed out by Ben Montgomery, but still a first down for the Panthers.
And now the central defensive coaches are trying to pull their hearts out of their throats. This is what they don't want to happen. Again, Roloff is the tackler of last resort, and he does the job. Actually, it's Ben Montgomery pushes him out. Roloff was there to make sure. But they're afraid that if Parrott or Bergen gets really loose in the open field, if the guy doesn't score, the next thing they're going to be doing is putting their goal line defense on the field.
The big plays of this drive have been through the air. A 15-yard completion there. Now it's Timmy Ross that takes it down to the 19-yard line. A tough 2 yards for Timmy Ross before Michael Baker falls on top of it.
Baker did a great job this time of fighting off a block and getting in here and putting his considerable size on the back of little Timmy Ross. That was a mismatch all the way.
Timmy 648 yards coming in, but he averages 11 yards per carry. 2nd and 9. They spot the ball at the 20. 4:45 left in the half. The pitch comes to John Williams in the backfield for the first time, knocked out of bounds at the 15-yard line. Now they say the 16-yard line, and the Panther fans think there was a hit perhaps a little far out of bounds as Bowman made the stop.
Tony Aragon was lucky he didn't get the flag right there.
Well, I was going to watch this real close on the replay and see what happened here. You know, yeah, he's clearly out of bounds when he hits him. But he pulled off of him. He didn't try to hit him hard out of bounds. He went to his knees, tried to pull off of it.
With the benefit of the replay, I think he did the right thing not throwing the flag.
Isn't the replay a great thing?
Oh, yeah.
3rd and 5 from the 15-yard line. 4:37 to go in the half. Permian trying to break the tie through the air. It is completed to Tony Daniels down to the 14. It'll be short of the first down. Chris Cloninger hangs on him. It'll be 4th and 3 facing the Panthers.
Strong safety Cloninger is always going to be on the tight end. And Daniels is so tough. It's just, he did a terrific job just pulling him down here.
Well, Permian's going to take a timeout and talk about this thing. They don't know whether they want to try to kick it at this point or try to go for the first down. It's 4th and it's 3 long yards.
With a timeout on the field, 4 minutes and 17 seconds left to go in the first half. We'll take a timeout as well. Our score has Permian and San Angelo Central all tied up at 7 apiece. This is the Super 7, KLSC. He is 6 of 7. His longest of the year, a 44-yarder against the Lee Rebels. The ball will be spotted at the 21-yard line, so a 31-yard field goal attempt by Shane Wells. Stormy Case the hold. Snap back, ball down, kick up. It's long. It's going to the left side. It is no good. Wide to the left for Shane Wells, and the Bobcats have held Permian out.
Well, big morale booster for the Bobcat defense as Permian drove the football a long ways deep in their territory. But when they had to, they were able to stop them, take over the football. 4 minutes, 12 seconds left. When you've got a passing, wide-open offense like San Angelo, you can go a long ways in a hurry.
I think Permian missed out on 2 goals there. They not only wanted to score, they wanted to score and not leave a lot of time for the Bobcats to bring it back down the field. And here they come with a trips formation to the left again, and Shea seems to have his arm warmed up.
1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. Marin's on the option. Now looking to throw. He's pressured. He's surrounded. He leaves that is intentional grounding if I ever saw it.
Intentional grounding. It's coming all the way back here, Fred.
There was nobody
That's going to be
around.
down on the goal line. He was almost in the end zone.
And a loss of down.
And a loss of down goes with it, but the ball's going all the way back to about the 2-yard line.
Shea might have been able to convince the official that it really was, he was trying to make a legitimate completion, because Hamilton, 34, you see him down there at the lower part of the screen. If he had thrown it in the dirt at his feet,
Well,
they
there's
might
another
have.
flag down way back upfield here now. That may be an offsetting penalty. We'll have to see what the call is here.
Then again, it may be that every official saw it.
Yeah, and everybody threw a flag. Laundry time.
I think they're good enough for the lineman downfield on that play.
Lineman downfield on a play, intentional grounding on a play. Intentional grounding, loss of down, and it is going to be down on the 1-yard line. Boy,
So,
that's a big, big penalty.
This will be the second time tonight the Bobcats have started from the 1-yard line. They did it earlier and got out of that one.
Time to call the face mask play.
That's
Yes.
it.
Face mask play.
Now it's painted into a corner as the Bobcats offensive coordinator Kyle Gandy, son of the head coach Dan Gandy. Again, he probably doesn't have many plays in his bag for a situation like this.
2nd and 29 from the 1-yard line. Moran to throw out of his end zone. It's incomplete. As he tried
But they
to
had
find
the-
Charles Vogel.
They had that same coverage again. Once more, Tucker is getting to play a lot of pass defense out of his linebacker status. He's covering a man about 20 yards back down the field, and he is the only man on coverage there.
I noticed they took him off Carroll and they put him on Charles Vogel, the tight end.
The clock stops with 3 minutes and 58 seconds left to go in the first half. Permian and Central all tied, 7-7. The Bobcats faced with a 3rd and 29 from their own 1-yard line, lining up in their end zone. Moran trips as he comes back from center, but gets away. The pass will be knocked down, incomplete. That was
Well,
Eve
a lot
Kelly
of fans-
defending.
A lot of fans on that one are booing it. They wanted a pass interference. Let's take a look at it again here. Looked like to me that perhaps both people were going for the football. Very definitely. He's got his eyes on the football. He isn't looking at the receiver.
Now the tough job here is to get a kick away when the line of scrimmage is the 1-yard line. He'll be right at the back of the end zone.
And if he steps out, it's a safety. And he has got that back foot right on the line.
Will Wagner is at his 45-yard line. Wagner will take it at the 41. Needs the block. Now trying to go outside. And it'll be down inside the 40-yard line. So really, the Bobcats do about as good as they can to get out of that.
Cody Avance kept the punt in the air for a while, and it looked there for a second like he called a fair catch before taking it and running.
I saw the same thing. I'm glad somebody else noticed that. I really thought he called a fair catch, but evidently he did not.
And now again, Permian has the ball in a place where they can not only make it a goal to take it down and score, but also take it down and score with little time left.
We're getting a penalty against Permian, offside to preliminary indication.
Well,
Against the
coach
Packers.
is out there, and he's mad because I think he thought that he saw a fair catch also. If we could back that up one more time and take a look at it, I really thought that I saw a fair catch signal. Maybe my eyes are going really bad in the cold weather, which, by the way, is beginning to be there.
He had taken his hand down by the time our camera panned over to him, but I believe
I really thought that he did a fair catch signal. Evidently, that's not the call. They called an offside penalty against Permian down there.
And Coach Dan Gandy is indeed hot, and I mean hot because he's in shirt sleeves.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a sweater on.
That's hot.
No jacket.
And believe me, it's cold.
He looks like he's playing golf in July.
There's Will Wagner. High snap. Gets it away.
Good punt.
Wagner catches it at the 49-yard line. Breaks one tackle. Trying to break another. Gets it to the 45.
And the Bobcats got about a 5 or 6 yard improvement out of that exchange. Good job by Cody Avance.
Really did. Well, I tell you what, this is a high snap. That's got to make your heart go up in your throat if you're the punter.
And if Cody doesn't catch the snap, his dad isn't reelected president of the Booster Club.
Oh, I see.
It's in the bylaws, I think.
Yeah, right.
So the Panthers have 3 minutes and 27 seconds to try to break this tie. And they will start it in good field position from the Bobcat 45-yard line. Kendrick Parrott is the receiver to the right side. 3 in the backfield. Now it is Wagner going out wide to the left and Bergen also to the right. Movement along the line. Bobcats get back. Long count by Stormy Case. Pitches the ball back to Timmy Ross. Gets a nice block and cuts up inside the 40. It is Chris Uzo with the tackle that time for the Bobcats on a quick burst by Timmy Ross.
Ross has that forward lean. You always like it in a running back.
5 yards on the play.
Well, the amazing thing, like we've said about Timmy Ross is a whooping 5 foot 4 or 5 inches tall and 135 pounds, and that's with his shoulder pads and his shoes full of water. I mean, he's a little guy.
Under the 3-minute mark on a 2nd and 5 now as Parrott goes to the left. 3 in the backfield behind Stormy Case. Malcolm Hamilton up the middle, but not for a lot of room. 2-yard pickup before it is Richard Barone that brings them down.
John Smith in there, too.
Well, I tell you, he is chopped down. Look at this. Whoa! Down he goes. Oh.
So Permian faced with a 3rd and 3, 2:27 and counting, left in the first half.
Got to ask, how much does number 79 for Bobcats weigh?
Let's see, what day is this? Bruce pushing 300.
Bruce James ready to give the ball back to Stormy Case. Ross in motion, now Case back to throw. He's pressured from behind, gets it away, completed. First down. It is Chris Cloninger on the stop, but not before the completion is made to Will Wagner.
Well, we've talked a lot about Shea Moranz, and Shea is terrific, but Stormy Case threw that ball with a lot of authority, and he had a couple of defenders in his face.
Yeah, Stormy Case is no slouch as a passer. I mean, he's certainly not received the kudos that have gone the way of Shea Moranz and probably should not have, but he is not a sloppy passer at all. He is a good quarterback.
1st and 10 Panthers at the Bobcat 27 with 1:45 left in the half. Case, as a flag flies, sprints out to his right side, now comes back up the middle with the football. Is brought down by one of the Bobcats and one of his own teammates. Looks like it'll be holding.
No, it is
offsides against Permian.
Motion penalty. 2 men in motion at the same time. Let's see if we can see that. Yes, both backs were moving before the ball was snapped. Can't do that.
Thought it was the CFL.
Right, except that the field's the wrong size.
No, but, you know, we could rip up this track and, well, it's a moot point.
That's another story.
Let's not start that.
And it took a long time to get this track, so.
Leadership was a call on the Panthers.
Pushed back to the 31-yard line where it'll be 1st and 15. 1:34 left in the half.
Well, this has been all that it was billed up to be. It has been a slugfest. These are 2 heavyweights, and they're battling. And I have no idea who has an advantage at this point.
Stormy Case. Incomplete. Intended for John Williams. Pass well away from him at the 35-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and 15. Clock will stop with 2 minutes, or make that 1 minute. 1 minute and 14 seconds left in the half.
There are 3 orange shirts around this ball when it's delivered, so he did the right thing. He threw a ball that probably couldn't be caught by anyone.
Your attention, please. A dark-colored Monte Carlo, license number 646 PDU. You're blocking.
Permian scored first in the first quarter. Central came back, tied it up in the second. We're late in the second, still tied at 7-7. Case drops, has time. In the air, incomplete, knocked away, and almost intercepted.
Chris Cloninger did it again.
Almost intercepted 2 or 3 times. This ball had a life of its own.
Pass intended for Tony Daniels.
Down 15.
Let's watch this. There is a almost reception, almost interception. And it's still live ball, and somebody else almost gets it there, but it hits the turf. Whew.
So it's still 3rd and 15. The ball is still at the 32-yard line, but now it'll be 1 minute and 7 seconds left in the half. Bobcat fans come to their feet again, urging on their defense. Case puts it in the air, looking for Wagner, incomplete. No, there is pass interference. I was ready to say no pass interference. The Bobcat defender on the play was not looking for the football.
Right, that was his mistake. He turned his back on the football, and that will get you every time. If he had kept his eyes on the football, his coverage is there, and I don't think he would have ever been flagged.
That's the tragedy of this play. It was right there. This will bring up, they're moving the chains, but I thought it...
No, it's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down in high school football.
Okay, with the automatic first down, they have it. If there was no automatic first down, it would have been right at the need stick.
Pass interference is a 15-yard penalty, automatic first down, or the spot of the foul, whichever is less, but it's an automatic first down either way. How's that?
Okay. With that decided, the ball's at the 16-yard line, where it's 1st and 10.
Again, you have crystallized my thoughts.
1:01
or mesmerized them, one or
left
the
in the
other.
half. And Stormy Case called the timeout. He was trying to get Jared Bergen set behind him, and he wisely called a timeout if they weren't too sure what to do. Might as well use it now. That'll be still 1 timeout left in a half, and there's 1 minute to go.
I think Central at this point, I know they're a little mad at themselves for the penalties that they've committed to help keep Mojo Drives alive here, but they have to be happy if they went into the half 10-7. If they can keep the Panthers from getting into the end zone, maybe force them to kick a field goal, they'd have to be happy with that.
Well, I think, anything of that nature would be a huge moral victory for them, at least at this point.
The time of possession has to be whopping in the favor of the Panthers, I would think.
Yeah, early on, Permian had control of the ball much of that first quarter.
And you saw Dan Gandy there a second ago talking to his pitcher, Benny Jones, and yes, he's probably trying to set an example and say, guys, it's not cold out here. I have the golf shirt on.
Well, he hasn't convinced me.
I don't think the players are feeling any cold, at least not the ones on the field. Now, the ones on the sideline may be feeling cold, but not out on the field.
And I've been more uncomfortable at track meets in March in the stadium.
1st and 10 Permian at the Central 16-yard line. Case to Timmy Ross, who spins to the 15, but that's it. Gains a tough yard.
Late flag. Kelly Bahill made the tackle.
I think they got a face mask. I thought I saw it early. If it is, I don't think they can call it the big one. It's got to be the little one. Right there. Yep, little face mask.
But when it happens on the 15, it's
a big face mask. No, they called...
Yeah, they called 5.
The little one.
Yeah.
They called a 5-yard face mask. Well, it had to be a little face mask. Timmy Ross's face mask isn't very big.
Not very big, yeah.
All right, right. Okay, we got that down.
Still 1st down. This time it's 1st and 5 as there's 45 seconds and counting left in the first half of play. Stormy Case drops to throw. Brings it back down. He's being pressured. Looking for Wagner in the end zone, and it's knocked away. Nearly caught, nearly interception, and now it's incomplete.
It was an out-and-up route, and Roloff and Cloninger did a terrific job. They did not bite on this first pump fake, and Cloninger stays right with him.
Well, I tell you what, Timmy Ross, or whoever it was,
Will Wagner,
he had the ball right in his hands. I mean, he should have had the football.
27 seconds are left in the first half.
The clock is stopped with the incomplete pass.
Boy, the last couple of minutes have taken an eternity.
Yes.
Or maybe it's just I'm getting colder.
And my feet keep getting colder.
Case looks to throw. Looking for Tony Daniels in the end zone. Intercepted and then dropped.
What an opportunity. Steve Roloff had it hit him right in the mask.
That's the reason Steve Roloff plays defense instead of wide receiver.
So Permian gets a life, and let's see how they react to it. 21 seconds to go in the half. As you see it one more time, Roloff has it, and now he doesn't have it.
You know, our superintendent of schools in Odessa this week told everybody to get a life.
Yeah, he did.
Well, Permian just got one.
They got one, a big one. 3rd and 5 from the 11. 21 ticks left on the clock in the first half. The pitch to Malcolm Hamilton, gets one block. Hamilton.
No.
Nowhere to run. Picks up a yard, and that's it. A flag on the field. 13 seconds left. We'll check out the marker.
Well, and the bad part of this is the coach called a play going to the left, try to set the ball up in the middle of the field if nothing else. And Hamilton took it all the way to the hash mark on the other side. So they gained nothing there, plus they're going to get a 10-yard or 15-yard penalty. I can't tell.
Holding penalty against Permian.
Holding penalty, all right. And he just had nowhere to go. There are lots of orange shirts and very few white ones out there.
Another timeout called by Permian, their final timeout with the 13 seconds left on the clock.
Well, both teams are departing the field to talk to their coaching staff. 13 seconds left, and we've been down here inside the 20-yard line for the last 2.5 days.
Been a long time, hasn't it? You know, we said before the game, one of the big question marks was the Central defense. Well, as far as the first half is concerned, they've really passed the test with flying colors.
They have been hustling all over the field.
Well, and the amazing thing is, I expected this ball game to be a very elongated football game, but it has turned out to be a pretty short one. At least the first half. We've only been about an hour into the game.
You saw Larry Cloninger talking to the Central defense. Permian's outside receivers are so good that I don't think he's inclined to send a blitz in there. And this might be a good situation because, well, they're going to go ahead and try the field goal, I suppose, on 3rd down. And it'll be a 37-yarder.
3rd and 14? I thought it was 4th and 14.
No, it's 3rd down with the penalty.
3rd down, and they're going to try now. Well, with only 13 seconds and no timeouts, they don't have much choice.
Now Central calls the timeout.
I don't think Central trusts Permian as far as they can throw them. I think they're saying it's 3rd down, look out for a fake. Because if Permian does fake it and throws incomplete, all they have to do is try the field goal again.
On the 4th down.
On 4th down.
Very good.
So Shane Wells, who missed a field goal earlier on in this football game, will try it again, apparently. Shane is now 6 out of 8 in the field goal department.
Standing to the left of Coach Gandy a second ago was Ken Bodie. He and Larry Cloninger worked together to coordinate the defense.
Special thanks to Barry Sykes, who has helped us out once again by providing a number of our statistics and extra game notes for this contest. And we appreciate Barry's help in getting us all set to bring you this football game tonight.
Don, if we were going to take the field goal as a given, they got a break with a penalty because they're closer to the middle of the field than they would have been had the play stood.
Snap back, ball down, kick up, high, long, and it is wide left. No good. Shane Wells misses to the left.
A footnote, if you'll pardon the expression, just if it comes down to a kick from Shane, then we might go back and remember that he missed 2 wide left in the second quarter.
Well, he missed 2 in the second quarter, Roger, but he has been extremely accurate all year long. So, very, very out of character for him. Football is cold. It's harder to kick. And it really does make a difference.
There's 8 seconds left in the first half of play.
This doesn't look like a defense. It looks like a kickoff receiving formation from the Panthers.
I think they're looking for the long pass.
The deepest safety is more than 30 yards from the line of scrimmage.
And he kneels.
He has nothing to do.
He says there's nothing to this one, folks.
He just has a longer...
7 tie. What about it, folks?
That'll wrap us up for the first half. Stay tuned. Our halftime show with the marching bands coming your way in just a moment. After 24 minutes of football, we're all deadlocked. Permian 7, San Angelo Central 7. This is a Super 7 KLST.
Has the halftime statistics.
Well, I only have part of the halftime statistics because I'm not smart enough to operate the computer. And our computer operator is coming this way right now, and as quick as he gets here and gives me the both team stats, then we'll be in great shape here.
Well, while we're waiting for that, let me run down the scoring from the first half of play. Permian started this ball game with an interception of Shea Morenz. They could not move the ball in the first time. They actually gave it back on a punt, but then a second interception led to a touchdown. That ended in a 9-play drive, 26 yards, 4 minutes and 6 seconds. Malcolm Hamilton, a touchdown of 3 yards out. Then San Angelo Central, 17-play drive, 83 yards, 7:19 in the second quarter. It was a Morenz to Carroll pass that tied it at 7-7. That's where we are right now, and some brief stats, Don.
Well, Kurt, Roger, the stats could not be any closer than the score is. Both teams have 7 first downs. The score is 7-7. And you have a total yards of 101 yards total for Permian, 94 yards total for San Angelo. So the ball game is actually just about as close as the score is. There is a little bit of difference in the way they got the yards. Permian Panthers had 55 yards rushing, 46 yards through the air. For Central, 32 yards rushing and 62 yards through the air. So really, it has been a very, very close-played ball game all the way down the line at this point.
All right, that's our halftime summary. We'll be back with the second half of action in a moment. Again, we're tied 7-7 between Permian and San Angelo Central. This is the Super 7 KLST. And we're just about ready for the third quarter to get underway. San Angelo Central will get the football for the first time in this third quarter. And I mentioned the moods were a little different in the locker room. Permian had some chances in the first half, could not capitalize. The Central defense really did the job. I imagine San Angelo a little happier with the 7-7 score than Permian is.
Well, I certainly think so. Permian's performance was a little disappointing, and let's see what happens here, Kurt.
The kick taken at the 8-yard line. Back come the Bobcats to the 20, going down the sideline. A little bit of running room now forced out of bounds. It was David Carroll that got the football and takes it all the way out to the 32. So a pretty good start in this third quarter for the Bobcats. And again, Don, we say it all the time, in a ball game like this, tied 7-7, the first series here, very, very crucial.
Well, it's crucial for both ball clubs, of course. The Permian defense must find a way to try to contain the San Angelo offense, and vice versa. It is an important third quarter. Perhaps, though, not as important in this ball game as it might be in some other ball games, simply because these two teams nobody has established anything at this point. They're both just slugging it out from word go.
First and 10 Bobcats from their own 28-yard line as the third quarter gets underway. Shea Morenz has David Hamilton, the lone back behind him, and Hamilton gets the football and is hit and down. Picks up about a yard before he's brought down by Ephraim Marino.
I think it's important that the Cats keep the ball a while. Don, you gave all the stats at halftime, and they were very even, but time of possession doesn't favor the Cats. And the question of fatigue is, first of all, is the Central Bobcats going to have the energy it needs to play the whole ball game? But for the entire Permian starting units, they haven't had to play 4 quarters all season.
That's right, and it could make an effect.
Second and 8, out to the 30-yard line for Shea Morenz and crew. Morenz sprints out to the right on the option, pitches it back now to Hamilton. Hamilton is tripped up at the 31-yard line. Nice defensive play made by Steve Kelly.
Ryan King was trying to block Kelly, and that might have been a chance. Morenz likes to audible a lot. I'd say he changes the play at the line of scrimmage 20 to 30% of the time. The corner men were playing right up tough on the wideouts. If he had changed the play to a deep route, he might have been able to hit something long.
Steve Kelly fighting off of the block very nicely to make the defensive play to trip up David Hamilton. 3rd and 7 from the 31-yard line. 10:40 left in the third. Morenz has 3 receivers to the left side. He's going to try to hit one of them. He sprints back. Across the middle, it's completed to Damon Carroll. Inside the 50 to the 47-yard line.
Again, he beat Brian Tucker. They had taken Tucker off of Carroll for a while, put him on the tight end Vogel, and Tucker is almost there, but not quite.
Well, it's not so much that they've taken Tucker off of him. It's that when they get into that particular formation with him lined up as the inside men of 3 of the wideouts with their type of zone coverage, Tucker's the only man there to cover him. There isn't anybody else.
And in that play, Shea Morenz could have unwrapped a sandwich back there. He had all day and no pressure whatsoever.
Big 22-yard completion. Morenz now still looking downfield. It is incomplete.
Too hard for Ryan King.
It was Brian Tucker and Michael Comer providing the pressure that time on
Well,
Shea
once
Moran.
again, he has got all day long to throw the football, as there is absolutely no defensive penetration. He steps out of the pocket, and he's got a long time. He's motioned to people downfield. He's got a week to throw the football.
And he threw it off his back foot, and it was there so fast that King couldn't get his hands up.
The clock will stop with 10:01 to go in the third quarter. First drive of the third quarter for the Bobcats, and they have it now 2nd and 10 at the Permian 47. Carroll goes in motion. Moran, deep drop, pressured, gets it away, completed to the 41-yard line. Ryan King brought down by Will Wagner. It'll be 3rd and short, 3rd and about 4 yards to go. Now spotted right at the 40. It'll be 3rd and 3.
It looked like it might be a screen there for a second, but clearly the Bobcats weren't intentionally letting those rushers through.
Well, there was a secondary receiver that was about 5 yards behind the man who caught the pass, who was also very, very open that time.
3rd and 3 from the 40. Moran fakes to Hamilton, looks downfield. Bodie has the ball, and he's pushed back.
But he has the first.
Forward progress will give him the first down as Tony Perez and Brian Tucker combine for the stop.
An impressive drive this time as the Bobcats start off the third quarter, moving the ball very, very effectively.
On the same side of the field, Marcus Bibbs was running deep. He was at the 20 and not covered very well. If Shea had gone to him, that might have been 6.
Easy for us to see it from up here, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Tough down there.
Coming down on the 9-minute mark as Damon Carroll goes wide to the right side. Bibbs comes to the left. Moran hands it off to Hamilton, who is hit and down after about a 2-yard pickup.
David Hamilton, the ball carrier. Stop made by number 63, Sam Brooks.
Again, not a lot of emphasis on the running game by the Bobcats. Really, the only rushers who have piled up any totals are Hamilton and Moran himself. Benny Jones is the next running back, and the only time you see the Bobcats use a 2-back set is when they have a short yardage or a goal line situation.
3 receivers to the right on 3rd and 8 from the Permian 33-yard line. Now, Carroll comes back to the left side as Moran drops the throw, puts it in the air and completes it to Ryan King inside the 25. Kelly makes the stop, but it's another Bobcat first down, and a flag will fly. An unsportsmanlike conduct call, I would assume. It came well after the play was over.
We'll check the penalty, but what a terrific pass by Shea Moran.
He threads the needle on this. He's got triple coverage out there, and he just threads the needle right in. Superb confidence and a great arm.
There's a lot of football left to be played. Both these teams will make the playoffs, as the penalty is unsportsmanlike conduct against the Cats.
Well, he must have said one of those magic words. And when you do that, you get yourself in trouble every time. There are just certain words that you don't say on the football field in earshot of the officials. Had a coach one time who used to tell me, you don't even think those words on the football field because they can hear your thoughts.
They read minds. Yeah,
right.
Officials have that ability.
Eventually, your thoughts will manifest themselves in the form of words.
Ooh, I like that.
Now it's 1st and 25.
So a big penalty. Instead of 1st and 10, it's 1st and 25. The ball was down to the 24. Now it's pushed back to the 38. So it'll be 1st and 25 from the 38 as we come down on the 8-minute mark. Moran fakes to Hamilton, drops, and he gets away from one tackler, drops the football, and is brought down at the 40. No, the ball was down at the 44.
Yes, they said that his knee touched down when he picked it up that time. I think that's the call. I'll watch it on replay. I didn't think he did.
It's Brian Tucker providing the pressure here on Shea Moran. He gets away from one tackle right there. Let's see what happens here as the knee does go down.
Sure does.
Tony Daniels.
So the officials are right twice tonight.
The officials have been doing a terrific job. They've not only made the right call, they've been very decisive about it. We haven't had some of those stand there and think about it late flags.
2nd and 30 from the 44. The Bobcats have had a number of long down situations. They've got out of a lot of them tonight. See what they do now. Morenz to throw. Completed to Carroll. Down to the 20-yard line. Court Peterson to stop. Damon Carroll takes it to the 20.
Now they have a very makeable 3rd down and 8.
They'll spot the ball at the 19.
This is some great individual effort here. He had about 15 yards. He could have run the football, but he declined that, looked for the receiver all the way, found the man open, and hit him. And anytime you give any quarterback that much time, much less a quarterback of the caliber of Morenz, you're in trouble because he had 30 minutes to throw the football.
6:40 left in the 3rd. Central threatening to break the tie. Morenz drops. Puts it in the air, and it's incomplete. Pass was intended for Damon Carroll, just about 2 yards over his head, and it'll be 4th down.
And now it's the first opportunity at a field goal for Byron Bodie. He is the backup quarterback, and he has a range of about 40 yards, and this kick will come from 36.
Bodie has kicked 5 field goals this year. His longest, 37 yards, one against Lubbock Monterey, another 37-yarder against Abilene.
Well, something Mr. Wells has learned, maybe he won't learn it, but this air is cold and heavy. The ball is hard and heavy. A little different approach.
Ryan King to hold, snap back, ball down, kick up, and it is no good. It's wide to the right side for Byron Bodie.
As the kicking game is suffering from the weather, it's always the first thing that suffers in any kind of inclement weather, whether it be cold weather or wet weather, and it just takes a lot different feel of the football when it's cold and hard like it is right now.
Central has had the ball the entire 3rd quarter as the clock shows 6 minutes and 26 seconds. They took the ball from their own 28-yard line all the way down to the 19 before the drive stalled and the field goal attempt. So now, Permian will start it from their own 20.
And the Central defense should have a higher energy level than they had before. They look like they're ready to go.
Stormy Case pitching it back to Timmy Ross, who gets one block, needs another, can't find it, still on his feet, and he's brought down by Ben Montgomery.
Ben Montgomery's at corner. It looks like a lot of the Bobcat secondary men are thinking run. And it might be a good time one of these downs if Mojo goes with a play-action pass and maybe sends Bergen deep.
2 tough yards for Timmy Ross. It'll be 2nd and 8 from the Panthers' own 22-yard line. Will Wagner goes to the left side. Malcolm Hamilton in motion. The pitch comes back to John Williams. Williams trying to turn the corner, cuts upfield. No, he can't do so. He'll go the other way. Still trying to turn. Now he has some room. Will Wagner in front of him. John Williams will take it to the 28-yard line where he's brought down.
Number 36.
And that's 6 of the toughest yards you'll find.
Well, that was tremendous personal athletic ability that time. I was looking all over the field for a clip because when runners start reversing fields like that and people start spinning and turning is when you get clips called. But no flags on the field, and he made a very nice run out of it, simply on individual athletic effort.
Michael Baker, number 76, did a terrific job of just kind of clogging traffic a little bit and keeping him from getting the 1st down.
So it's 3rd and 2 Permian from their own 28 with 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter, tied 7-7. Handoff up the middle. Malcolm Hamilton has the 1st down. As he takes it across the 30, falls ahead to the 32. Vinnie Jones made the stop on Hamilton.
Well, I don't want to second-guess anyone, but the only real success Permian has had all night on the ground is right up through the middle. They keep trying to turn the corners to the outside, but when you've got a defense that's spread out as much as the Central defense, they simply have you outnumbered on the corners. And I don't think you're ever going to get it turned on the corner.
So Hamilton, the 4-yard pickup, has the ball at the 32-yard line. 4:40 in county left in the 3rd. Case, the long count. Drops the throw and completes it to Parrott, who takes a big hit and hangs on at the 36. Parrott hit hard by Ben Montgomery.
You know, there's a good chance, as evenly as these teams are playing, the game could end up in a tie. And I would remind you that
we know what that's like, don't we?
Last year when they met at Ratliff Stadium, they tied. The last time the Bobcats played in front of a crowd this big was the playoff game in '86. That was a tie.
Are you trying to tell me there is a precedent for this?
There's a precedent for it, and I predicted it. Somehow I thought this game might end up that way.
John Williams trying to break tackles. He'll fall ahead for a couple, and that's it. Bobcat defense right there to stop up the hole if there was any at all. Kelly Behill, the stop on Williams. It's 3rd and 4.
Well, once again, it's trying to go to the outside, and there's just not anything there except orange shirts.
3.5 minutes left in the third quarter. A third quarter that has had one drive from Central and another for the Permian Panthers. 3rd and 4 from the 38. Stormy Case to throw. Sprints out to the right. His coverage breaks down, and it's incomplete.
And the crowd wants a grounding call, and based on the one they made.
Call. No, he lost control of the ball, and then into his throwing really didn't have good control of the football. Watch it again here.
I think he almost drops the football before he throws it. In fact, I thought he did drop it.
Intentional grounding is an intent call, and this would not be an intentional grounding.
How he held on to the ball, I don't know. He must squeeze tennis balls in his spare time. That's one of the little things that might make the difference in winning or losing a game.
The man had a hold of the football. I thought, how do you hold on to it on the top when somebody else has got a hold of it pulling it away?
Chris Uzo is the injured player being tended to at the 32-yard line. Clock is stopped, 3:13 to go, and Permian will be forced to punt. With a timeout on the field, we'll take a timeout. We're still tied. Permian 7, San Angelo Central 7. This is the Super 7. KLS back at San Angelo Stadium, ready for the Panthers to punt it out of there on a 4th and 4. As Shane Wells to get the kick away from right around his own 30-yard line. Bobcats should get fairly good field position. Shane gets the snap. Low kick. Will take a Permian bounce inside the 25-yard line, and it'll be down at the 24. So that's where the Bobcats will start it. 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. With 3 minutes and 4 seconds left to go now in the third quarter of play.
Before the break, Chris Uso came back to the Bobcat bench under his own power. He looked okay. He'll probably be back in there when the Cats go on defense again.
Okay, here we go back. 3 minutes and 4 seconds, and more and more and more. This reminds me of a big heavyweight fight. Both of them just feeling it out. Nobody really able to score anything.
On the draw, the ball to Hamilton, who breaks tackles and takes it up short of the 30. He'll be down at about the 29-yard line. So 5-yard pickup for David Hamilton.
The Cats have the kind of passing offense where they can use the sprint draw like this very effectively. The Houston Oilers use it a lot with Lorenzo White and Alan Pinkett, and when the defense is spread out like that, sometimes you get openings. He was maybe one tackle break away from getting a big gain.
2:35 and counting left in the third. It's 2nd and 5 from the 29-yard line. Morensen's 3 receivers out to the left. Hamilton has it. Nowhere to run. Hemmed in. Still looking for room, and he's brought down at the 19-yard line. It was Tony Daniels, the big play, to bring David Hamilton down, who was a caged cat.
Dan Gandy is yelling at Hamilton, telling him the most basic thing you tell a running back in football: up the field, go north.
Yeah. North-south, son, not east-west.
I thought for a second, just for a second, he might try and throw the ball. It wouldn't have been a bad move.
Except there were about 9 linemen downfield.
10-yard loss makes it 3rd and 15. Push back to the 19-yard line. Minute 40 to go in the third as Morenz drops the throw. Comes out of there and puts it in the air. It's incomplete through the hands of Ryan King, the intended receiver at the 30-yard line. Defending on the play was Tony Perez, and a Bobcats will punt with 1:32 to go in the third quarter. And now it's the Permian fans on the far side of San Angelo Stadium that come to their feet cheering on their defense.
Ryan's hand feels like a beehive. This was delivered so hot, he just couldn't hang on.
He kind of got alligator arms on that one. He didn't get his hands up there all the way.
Cody Avance has to punt standing at his 6. And his average is 38.9 yards. He'd do well to exceed it here.
Avance gets the kick away. High kick. Fair catch called for and taken by Will Wagner at the 42-yard line.
1:24 left in the third. And
we've still got a 7-7 ball game.
Besides just the score, I'm just looking for an advantage here in the second half. I don't see one.
I see absolutely no advantage to either ball club. They're playing on totally even terms at this point.
So let's see what the Panthers have planned for the final minute 24 of the third quarter. They will send Kendrick Parrott wide to the right side. Case gives the ball back to Hamilton, who hurdles over to the 45-yard line. Hamilton goes airborne to pick up 3 yards.
Well, Kurt, I'm glad it was you that said this was going to be a high-scoring affair tonight, not me.
Yeah, good point. The linebacking core making the stop that time on Malcolm Hamilton. We know we're always in trouble on tape delay games to make predictions, and we continue to do it. And I don't know why.
Well,
I don't know why.
That's because both of us are really blonde.
That must be it. 50 seconds left in the quarter. Up the middle again. Hamilton again. About 3 yards.
Chris Uso made the tackle. Chris is okay. He's back in there. Guys, 39 seconds and the clock is running in the third quarter. I don't know what's going to happen here in the fourth, but it's really been a privilege just to see a multitude like this in a game played on such even terms.
Well, I tell you this much, nobody's going to ask for a refund after this game is over.
This is still one of the best buys that there is in all of sports spectating. A high school football game, and you can't get a better matchup than this one.
3rd and 6 from the 48-yard line, 10 seconds left in the quarter. Stormy Case looks to throw. Pressure from behind, gets it away, incomplete. Pass was intended for Will Wagner at the 40. It's incomplete. There's 3 seconds on the clock, and Permian will be forced to punt.
5 Bobcats around the ball when it arrives.
Well, you know, some tremendous confidence on Case's part to even throw that football. He threw it right in the teeth of some very tough double coverage.
Will Wagner's had double coverage almost all night long.
Comer was in there that time. He was open to the inside of Wagner.
Shane Wells ready to kick it back to the Bobcats. Good snap. Wells gets a beautiful kick away. Carroll underneath it, takes it at the 7. Comes back to the near side, down the sideline to the 20. Knocked out of bounds. No, he's not out of bounds. Now he's out at the 27-yard line.
Out at the 27-yard line. Great job of running a kickback. Tremendous kick.
So that's how the third quarter comes to an end, and we are still tied. It's Permian 7, San Angelo Central 7. We're ready for the fourth quarter in just a moment. This is a Super 7, and we're ready for the final 12 minutes of high school football as the District 4-5A championship is on the line between the Bobcats and the Panthers, tied at 7. Central begins the fourth quarter with a football from their own 28-yard line. Shea Moranz drops to throw. Puts it in the air. It's incomplete. There's a flag. Interference against Permian on Ryan King.
They're going to get Hubert Collins for it.
He was pushed at about the 45-yard line, and you'll see if we can see it on the replay. Well, you couldn't really see it. It came right at the end there.
No, I didn't see it. I watched again.
It will be a first down as the ball will be moved out now to the 44-yard line. Let's see, that's the 28.
They're calling it 28 to the 44, a 15-yard penalty and a first down.
Okay, 28 plus 15 is what in your book?
43.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And that's where the ball is.
At the 44.
Well, 43 and 3/4.
Okay. First and 10, Bobcats. Moran will be hit and down. Coming from behind, Brian Tucker makes the sack at the 40.
He was coming on a blitz, and the Bobcat coaches expected Permian to blitz about 20% of the time in this game. They really hadn't very much. When they have, the Bobcats have picked it up. But that one, Shea had no time to set it all.
Well, they brought three linebackers on a blitz that time. Everybody came.
And Tucker doing a good job of weaving through the traffic right there to catch Moran from behind. 2nd and 14 from the 40. Carroll in motion. Marin on a drop. Gives it to King, who will get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Hubert Collins was there to touch him down, but King, diving for the football, makes the completion at the 45. They'll say he's actually a yard beyond the line of scrimmage.
Shea he has the authority to change the play, and he may start doing it if Permian makes a habit of blitzing here. They blitzed him on the last 2 plays, and now it's 3rd and 9. If you're not going to make the first down, you want to at least avoid a sack, because if Cody Avance gets off his best punt of the night, you could have Permian pinned inside at 20 if it comes to 4th down.
3rd and 9 from the 45. Marin.
Got it.
No first down.
No, incomplete, sorry.
Incomplete ball. And he wouldn't have had a first down anyway. He was about 2 yards short.
Pass intended for Marcus Bibbs. It was Hubert Collins defending on the play. So Central forced the punt.
Actually, he had a first down, but he had to come back for the football. And when he did, it just wasn't there.
So the Permian crowd salutes the defense, and now we'll turn it over to the kicking game. 10 minutes, 22 seconds are left in this one. With Will Wagner waiting for the kick at his own 20-yard line. Snap to Avance is a good one. Gets the kick away. High kick. Wagner, fair catch, called for. And, oh, they're all around him. They never gave him any room to catch the ball.
That'll
he
cost
calls for the
him.
fair catch, and it'll be a penalty.
And all the laundry came out of the pockets on that one.
You see the fair catch indication.
And he made a very, very plain fair catch. But well, they actually bump into him. He just never had a chance to catch the football.
With the opportunity to field the punt.
There's 10 minutes and 12 seconds left.
Now there's some pressure on the Bobcat defense. They have been out there a long time. One of the keys to the game was they needed to pressure Case. I really don't think we've seen that much pressure on Case. I'm very impressed with the Bobcat secondary. They seem to have covered the Mojo receivers like a blanket all night.
Well, yeah, that and the fact that what has impressed me is their front four have done a great job, not only putting some pressure on the quarterback, but they've done a great job of stuffing the run.
Permian starts from their own 27-yard line on a 1st and 10. Wagner right. Parrott and Bergen have come to the left side. Ross and Hamilton behind Case. And it's Timmy Ross that gets the football. Ross takes it to the 30-yard line before he's brought down. Michael Baker the stop. And Timmy has not had the room that he normally gets to run tonight. That defense is swarmed in around him.
Well, there was good blocking at the point of attack, but the filling defense from behind is absolutely shutting down that little quick toss.
That's what you see a lot with the pincher defense. It's these 2 little guys who act as stand-up defensive ends. They usually go off after the quarterback unless they see the ball handed off, and they can kind of come in from behind and pick up the trash.
John Williams in there replacing Malcolm Hamilton on a 2nd and 7 from Permian's own 30-yard line. 9.5 minutes left, and Williams will get the football. He's still on his feet. First down for John Williams. Ben Montgomery spins into the turf.
I think he's going to be a little short of the first down where he's marking the football.
Well, he shouldn't be. An unusual spot.
Well, he shouldn't have gotten that far. Benny Jones was coming hard. He's the right pincher, and he had him at first, and he let him get away.
Well, where they spotted the football, I don't think he made it.
You know, this might be one of those cases where a rule may have to be amended. We've seen a few plays in the NFL this year, one by Anthony Carter, where he was going down, but he was sitting on
did make the first
the
down.
Intended tackle, first down. We've seen plays like that where the ball carrier will be sitting on the intended tackler and maybe bounce up.
Right.
He hit the ground in effect because he hit a fellow who was sitting on the ground, but then he was able to keep going and roll forward. He rolled forward in that case just enough to make the first down.
Ball will be spotted just shy of the 37-yard line. Hamilton is back in the lineup.
Of course, will tell you that if he had put his headgear on his numbers and driven him back in a beautiful form tackle, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. Parrott is wide to the right side. Up the middle. Malcolm Hamilton with room. Hamilton inside the 40. It's a foot race to the end zone. One man clips him, but that's a Mojo touchdown. Malcolm Hamilton takes it in for 6.
63 yards.
Well, The amazing part of this, Kurt, is Malcolm Hamilton is the slowest of all the Permian running backs. But he simply is able to outrun everybody in this secondary.
Chris Cloninger trips him, or he gets a piece of his foot, but Hamilton keeps his balance and takes it in for a 63-yard touchdown run.
Well, an old adage in football, it don't make no difference how fast you is, it's where you is running at.
But this extra point, very, very important right now. We've had problems in the kicking game this evening. Let's see about the extra point. Case to hold, snap back, fall down, kick up, and it is through the uprights. It's true for Shane Wells. And with 8 minutes and 59 seconds left in the game, the offense has handed over to the defense for Permian. And the Panthers lead it 14-7.
Well, that's the first breakaway play, the only breakaway play really all night long for either ball club. Everybody has been able to pick, and move the ball down the field. But that was the first time that anybody has really broken loose, and that was right up through the middle. Now it is crucial for the Orange to get things in gear, and they must answer, and they really must answer on this possession.
And I know there's more to an offense than the quarterback, but Shea Morenz is the guy who makes this go. He's done a terrific job all season with people heaping praise on him, telling him how great he is. He's never let it affect the way he prepares for a game. And now is the time when some people that I have talked to say that maybe he's the best quarterback they've seen since Tommy Kramer. So this is the type of situation where he can prove that he's that good. Against the great Permian team, his team's under duress, 8:59 to go in the game, and they're down by 7.
That scoring drive for Permian took 3 plays to move the ball 73 yards, 1 minute, 13 seconds. Malcolm Hamilton, the 63-yard touchdown run.
Well, it's now the very highly talented and vaunted Bobcat offense going up against what traditionally has been the strength of Mojo, and that's the defense.
There's the kick by Shane Wells. Taken at the 5, fumble on the play. It's on the turf, and Permian recovers at the 15-yard line.
What a break. What a break in the ball game.
And I believe it was Ben Dobbins that fell on the ball, but we'll check it again.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. It's almost a tragic thing for a ball game to turn on this kind of a mistake. The ball hit him right in the chest. He just simply wasn't looking at it. And Permian quickly downfield and covered the football.
It wasn't Dobbins. I believe it was Parrott, Kendrick Parrott, that got the ball. 1st and 10 Permian, trying to cash in on a Bobcat mistake. 8:56 to go in the game. Case hands the ball off to Hamilton, still on his feet, and will be pushed back for about a yard loss.
It pays to put your best athletes on special teams. In the last few years, coaches have recognized that. There's probably no one on this field who can run faster than Kendrick Parrott, and he got all the way down there.
Tony Aragon and Chris Cloninger combining to make the stop right there. A 1-yard loss. It'll be 2nd and 11, back to the 16-yard line. Clock moves, 8:25 to go in the game. Bruce James comes up for the football, ready to give it back to Stormy Case. The pitch to John Williams. Williams trying to turn the corner, does so. Down the sideline, knocked out of bounds. Cloninger pushed him out. See where they spot his forward progress.
16-yard, 11, 12-yard line.
So it'll be 3rd and long facing the Panthers now. And Shane Wells may be called on for a very important kick in a moment. Shane has had 2 field goal attempts, and both have missed to the left side on the other end of the field.
With 8 minutes and 11 seconds left in the ball game, I would not be at all comfortable with a field goal but if that's the best you can do, that's what you've got to take. But I tell you what, I'd almost be tempted this far down to go on 4th down.
3rd and 7 up the middle to Malcolm Hamilton, close to a 1st down.
Nope, they're spotting it just short of the 5-yard line.
But I think he's close enough to go on 4th down.
Well, yeah, he's got to be within 2 feet.
What a tough run, though, by Hamilton. As you see it on the replay one more time.
Well, this is where a good football team must be able to put their opponent away when they get this kind of a break. They've got to get points on the board. And big play. Here it is.
4th and less than a yard from the 5-yard line. Fans all over the stadium are on their feet. Up the middle and into the end zone. That's a mojo touchdown for Malcolm Hamilton. And Permian breaks it open in the 4th quarter.
Well, great run by Malcolm Hamilton here. He just walks through some tackles and then drags some people. Thought he was going to run over an official. Official thought he was going down, and he didn't.
I really think the big play of that drive was on 3rd and 7, though, when he got the football and gained about 4 yards after being hit. Hamilton, his 3rd touchdown run of the night. He now has 19 on the year, and here comes the extra point attempt.
Crucial.
Snap back, ball down. The kick is up, and it's good again for Shane Wells, who's 3 for 3 in extra points tonight. There's 7 minutes and 23 seconds left to go in the football game, and the Permian Panthers have 14 in the 4th to have a 21-7 lead. This is the Super 7 KLSC Sports Production.
This telecast of the Permian Central football game is brought to you in part by Webb, Stokes & Sparks, Personal Injury Law.
Tomorrow from 1 to 6, Concho Valley Chrysler Plymouth Jeep Eagle Daihatsu Hyundai is having a Super Sunday sale. There's super deals on new 91 Plymouth Voyagers as low as $13,977 or $299 a month. Or new 91 Hyundai Excels as low as $58.77 or $115 a month. It's the Super.
You see the scoring touchdown from Malcolm Hamilton again, his 3rd of the night. 4 plays, 1 minute 33 seconds, 15 yards after Permian recovered the fumble after the kickoff.
I wasn't real sure that they were going to call it a touchdown because the official standing right there never did signal the touchdown.
Other than that long touchdown, he's very quietly had an impressive night. He had the 63 yards in one chunk, but other than that, he's been
What's his total yardage?
Very gradually wearing down the Bobcat defense. The Cats have sent Shea Morenz in on the front line of their kickoff team. The front 5 players, he's the one in the middle. They're expecting an onside kick. They might think that Permian senses the kill, and they really want to put the game away if they haven't already.
Well, you're right. He has had an impressive night. 115 yards rushing at this point for Hamilton. That's pretty good.
There's the kick taken by Carroll at the 8-yard line. Back to the 20, up the middle. He's hit at the 27. It looks like, wait, there's a fumble. And Permian says they've got it, as they do.
No,
the
signal.
official.
No signal.
It looks like Central will have the ball. I saw a lot of black and white pointing Permian's way, but it was Permian black and white, not the official black and white.
And there is a major difference in black and white.
Yes, there is. Watch it one more time, see if we can see the ball come out.
All right, that's what I was trying to see, is when the ball comes out, because they're calling him down. Well, I can't tell from that either. There was a big pile of bodies there.
Bobcats will start it from their own 28, 1st and 10, 7:17 to go in the game. Morenz back to throw. Looking down the middle, it's incomplete. Pass intended for Marcus Bibbs. Will Wagner defending on the play.
The Panthers, rather, seem to have a different defensive look. They have 2 safeties playing a lot deeper than they were before. They may be willing to give the Bobcats the gain of 10 to 15 yards and gamble that if Central does score and kicks the ball back to the Panthers, that they can give it to Hamilton and run out the rest of the clock.
7 minutes, 11 seconds left to go here in the 4th and final period of this district championship game between the Permian Panthers and the Bobcats of San Angelo Central High School. Kurt, it's a whale of a game.
It is, and it's still a long way from being over. Moran dropped, he's hit, he's back. Sam Brooks right in the middle. The big play on Shea Moran. The loss back to the 20-yard line. Moran gets up hobbling.
Oh, that would be the big loss. If they lose the ball game, it's one thing. If they lose Shea Moran, it's another thing. Ooh.
Shea Moran still limping, trying to shake it off. He's going to stay in there as the new play comes in through Ryan King. Clock moves. 6.5 minutes are left in this one. A 6-yard loss on the sack makes it 3rd and 16. Pushed back to the 22-yard line. Carroll goes wide to the right side. Moran to throw. Pressure. Gets it away on the screen. Completed to Hamilton out of the backfield. Hamilton will be short of a first down as he gets it to the 36.
Cats will probably go for it here. They have a 4th and 3 or 4 to go.
6 minutes left in the ball game. Maybe a little early to start getting to those techniques. They have the ability to go a long ways in a big hurry, and I think they would rather punt here and look for a little better field position, leaving it up to their defense to contain the Permian Panthers. And really, despite the fact that the score is now 21-7, their defense has played extremely well all night.
Mike Boyer making that play defensively. It's 4th and 3, so here comes it's a short. It's a fake punt. And the Bobcats will pick up the first down.
He has it.
They get it to the 40-yard line as the ball came back to Moran.
Very good.
I started to say, I don't think Gandy wants to punt now. Why punt back? I just figured, I knew he was going to go for it. I should have said something. I would have looked like a genius about now.
1st and 10, Bobcats at the 40. The fake punt worked. Five minutes and 22 seconds left in this one. Moran to throw. Gets away from the pressure. Looks downfield. Hit as he throws. Incomplete. Almost intercepted by Steve Kelly, who's played a whale of a ball game tonight for the Permian Panthers in the secondary.
You know, when we were in the press box talking with all the experts, I guess ourselves included, at the halftime, we were saying we were surprised that the Bobcat wideouts had been covered as they had been by the Panthers, and that the times, you know, the Cats might have had a chance to get someone open and get in for the score, and we were surprised that had not happened more often. But Permian has really done a terrific job of covering the outside receivers, Carroll, King, and Bibbs, for the Bobcats.
2nd and 10 from the 40, 5:09 to go in the game. Moran looks to the right side. It's incomplete. In and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Marcus Bibbs, who can't make the connection at the 47. So
Shane
3rd
Moran
and 10.
is taking a pounding here in this. He is really getting hit every play, and he has got to be getting very, very sore and very, very battered at this point, because, I mean, he is really taking some licks. He's holding onto the ball to the last minute looking for that open man, and he is really, really taking some hard hits.
Damon Carroll, is that Carroll? No.
Charles Vogel, the tight end.
Okay, Vogel comes off limping. Carroll is still in there. He's going wide to the left side. 3rd and 10 from the 40. Moran down the middle. It is completed to Marcus Bibbs, who has the first down in Permian territory at the 43.
4 minutes, 58 seconds left to go in this 4th quarter of play.
That'll get Bibbs' confidence back. He had dropped a couple earlier tonight, and if there's any one problem the Bobcats have had this year, it's that they've dropped a lot of passes. Morenzis has delivered it on the money so many times, and he'd have an even better numbers for passing than he does if not for the drops.
4:45 left. 1st and 10 at the Permian 43. Movement along the line. Permian pointing to Central. The indication will be a mark-off against the Bobcats.
Well, a stunning defensive line that time finally made one of the offensive linemen. That was the left guard who raised up a little bit.
Ryan Matthews, and it's unfair. The Bobcat line has done a good job on pass blocking tonight. And the only time you mention Ryan's name is when he moves his head up a little bit. But Ryan, you're doing a great job.
1st and 15 from the 48-yard line now with 4.5 minutes to go.
Chase changing the play, a little hand signal to the wideouts.
Looking downfield for Bodie over his head. No, instead it's for Carroll, excuse me. Tony Perez defending.
Well, that was a kind of a loft touch play, much like you often see in the end zone. But I think it was caused as much by the fact that there were some people trying to hang all over him as it was anything else. Not a bad touch on that ball, though.
So the clock stops with 4 minutes and 21 seconds left. Permian in control at 21-7. The Bobcats trying to get back into it now, as they have it at the Permian 48-yard line. Carroll goes to the left. Bibbs is wide to the right side. Moran pressured by Daniels, gets it away on the screen. It's incomplete. Knocked up in the air.
Now you have 3rd and 15. 4:17 left in the game.
Well, that ball was batted that time by Daniels. That's the reason the pass was incomplete. Daniels got a big paw up and batted that ball on his way in.
I can't think, when I look at big number 86, who would be a better blitzer for high school football. You could bring him. He's like an LT in high school football.
3rd and 15 from the 48. Receivers are wide to left side for Shea Moran. He's hit once in the backfield, gets away. Now he's going downfield for Carroll. It's completed. The Bobcats have scored. Moran to Damon Carroll. Everyone lined up left. He comes right. Carroll has time to get open, and it's 6.
Terrific throw. Moran is capable if he doesn't have the wind in his face and he's pumped full of adrenaline. His coaches say he can throw at 70 yards. He didn't have to throw at 70 that time, but that was a good 55, 60-yard throw.
Tremendous throw, tremendous catch, and the defense was not that bad on the coverage.
Just a well-designed play. The Bobcats trailing 21-13 will go for 2. Well, they'll go for 1.
Yeah, they got the tee out.
Oh, okay.
Ryan King holding for Byron Bodie.
No, they're going for 2 on the fake. Permian smells it out. It's in the end zone. It's good. It's good for 2.
Brian Butler. I'll tell you, Dan Gandy is the Bobby Bowden of high school football.
Well, it's one of those trick plays that almost didn't work because there is somebody right behind him, but he manages to get the pass off. Kind of wobbly and kind of weak, but it got there.
Except for the fact that Ben Montgomery throws right-handed. That looked like Ken Stabler. You remember the 1974 playoff, the Dolphins and the Raiders? Stabler to Clarence Davis, but in this case, Clarence Davis is Brian Butler. Now the Cats are within 6, 4:08 to go in the game. You know their defense is going to be pumped.
Well, this is one of those absolutely tremendous football games. Absolutely tremendous football game. But there is a penalty. No. Well, where is he going to set this? Okay. I thought he was picked the ball up and he's going to march it for a while.
He just might. Permian had lined up back behind their own 40 to receive this kickoff, but I guess it'll be normal now. And Shea Moran is the kickoff man, by the way. He's a triple threat.
That's right. Over 20,000 have watched on tonight as 2 teams have given their all in a battle of
high school football game.
A battle of unbeaten teams going right down to the final few seconds. 21-15 now, and there's the high kick. It'll be taken at the 12-yard line. Scrambler to the 20, down to the 22. Good coverage by the Bobcats.
Especially considering it wasn't a very deep kick.
Well, it's one of those type of kicks, though, that is so high in the air that it takes your coverage team is downfield just like a punt.
There's 4 minutes and 3 seconds left in this one. Both teams have all 3 timeouts remaining.
It makes the game so exciting when a coach like Dan Gandy is not afraid to take a few risks out there. I mean, he was down 14 points with a good chunk of the fourth quarter gone. He used his imagination, and now his team has a chance to perhaps stop Permian here and move in for what would be the winning touchdown.
Stormy Case gives the ball back to Timmy Ross. Ross with room, tripped up from behind to the 27-yard line, brought down by Benny Jones.
There aren't many guys who play along a defensive front who can grab at Timmy Ross from behind, but Benny Jones fought off the block in the backfield and ran him down. It was just a gain of 5.
Now we hear the war drums coming from the central end of the football field.
Alan Strambler comes in the lineup.
And
Tony Daniels is in.
And I still don't see Chief Osceola. And I've looked.
Where might he be tonight?
2nd and 6 from the 27-yard line. Timeout called by Permian. Stormy Case looked at a defense, saw something he didn't like, so he calls the timeout. Permian has 2 remaining.
Well,
the clock shows 3:18 to go.
What he looked at was the clock in the end zone, the 25-second clock, which was down to about 2 seconds.
Well, that's what he didn't
said,
like.
There's no way. We're not going to make this, folks. So to save the 5-yard penalty, and here we start the chant.
And the tomahawk chop. Both fans from both schools have used it here tonight.
Well, it's just not the same, though, without that big Appaloosa horse and the Indian on his back with a big spear and throwing it and fiery spear into the field. It's just not the same.
Chief Nakahoma.
Here we go. 2nd and 6 from the 27-yard line. Case to Hamilton. Hamilton, first down, a flag flies. He's brought down at the 41. Check out the marker. It was Stephen Roloff, the tackle.
It's going to be a clipping call, I think.
That would save the Cats. All Permian would need to do here is make a couple of first downs. This would have been one of them, but if it comes back.
Yeah, it's coming back. It's going to come back, making about well, he picked up about 15. It's coming back about 15, so it's going to be about back where it was to start with.
A popular call here in San Angelo. There's a great representation over there from Permian. I'd say they have about, a fourth of the stadium filled.
Or better, I don't know. It's I can't tell. Well, it looks like there's an awful lot of black clothes down in the end zone area, too, in one area, so I'm not sure.
Those are Raiders fans.
Boy, is that a bad word?
The Markov brings the football back to the 21-yard line.
2nd down and about 12.
It was 2nd and 5 when the play started.
3 minutes and 10 seconds, and the clock is moving.
I'm surprised Case hasn't let a little more time go off the play clock. It's at 15, and they're probably about to snap it.
Bruce James ready to give the ball back. 2nd and 12 from the 21. There's Hamilton, brought down short of the 25-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and long for the Panthers. There's 2:40 in counting as Chris Uzo made the stop on Hamilton.
3rd down, 2 minutes and 34 seconds left in the ball game, and the clock is rolling. Tony Daniels leaves the field limping.
Tony's had ankle problems the last few weeks.
Well, he has got it aggravated again this evening.
It'll be 3rd and 8. Just short of the 25-yard line. 2:10 left in the game. Stormy Case looks to throw. Parrott's open. Out of bounds. Incomplete. Tipped by the Bobcat defense.
Kelly Behill. Didn't even know if he'd play tonight. He had the injury to his knee. The collision with a teammate in Tuesday practice. That may be the biggest defensive play of the game so far.
He just gets a hand up and tips it away. Does a great job there.
Parrott was there.
Well, it's going to set up a 4th down with 2 minutes and 5 seconds left to go. The incomplete pass did more than just stop the drive. It stopped the clock, which may be more costly to the Panthers than the drive stopping.
That was Damon Carroll ready to get the ball. Good snap. Wells with the kick. High spiral. Headed out of bounds.
I would have kicked it up the field there. The ball went out of bounds. He's going to measure it off. At the 45 is where the Cats get the start. They have almost 2 minutes, 1:58 left in the game.
Boy, great field position to start a final drive there at the Permian end of the football field to start. No, in the own end of the football field.
You know, guys like us here at
Make great coaches.
the television stations that we represent can kind of relate to the networks. We go to the trouble of putting a game like this on television, and we hope it is exciting as this. And we're getting everything we had hoped for here tonight.
1st and 10 Bobcats from the 45-yard line. 1:58 to go as Moran drops the throw. He's pressured. He gets it away up the middle. It is completed to the 50. They give it forward progress to the 47 as Brian Tucker combines with Steve Kelly.
1:45 left to go in the fourth quarter. 1:41 now. And the clock is rolling down.
The Bobcats used a 4 wide out, no back offense, and it looks like they're going to continue to do that without huddling.
8-yard pickup, 2nd and 2.
Or a very brief huddle. That was a very brief
That was a
huddle.
quickie at the 47. A flag flies, and I'm not sure what happened there.
Well,
Explain that one
everybody
to me.
moved except the center. He didn't snap the football. And everybody moved but the football. Everybody had the snap count except the center. Boy, I tell you what, that's embarrassing. Terribly embarrassing.
2nd and 2 becomes 2nd and 7.
Watch this. The football is staying right there. Now everybody moves. Oh, now the football moves.
Quarterback didn't look like he was behind the center to me.
Might he have been lined up behind the guard?
It sure looked that way. 2nd and 7. Moran completes it. Wagner gets him out of bounds at a 32. 1:06 to go in the game.
Ryan King wanted a face mask at the end of the play. He's a kid who scored one of the Bobcats' 2 touchdowns against Permian last year.
Central trails 21-15, but they're knocking on the door. 1:06 left in this thriller from San Angelo Stadium. Watch it again.
Well-thrown football. Right on the target.
He gets by Perez, and then Wagner pushes him out. 1st and 10, Bobcats at the Permian 32-yard line. Shea Moran trying to lead his team from behind. A flag flies. It'll be procedure against the Bobcats. Moran's is down to the 43-yard line. Sam Brooks makes the stop.
I have to
Also
differ.
Jerry Sims.
Beg your pardon. I have to differ with this call. I think they're going to get David Hamilton and say he wasn't set for a full second before the snap. I think he looked like he was set for a second.
I think it'll be a moot point because I imagine Permian will decline the penalty.
Decline the penalty, take the play, which is a lot bigger loss than the penalty.
There's 59 seconds left.
Decline the call, moves the ball back to the 40-yard line, and a timeout taken by the Central Bobcats.
That's their first, I believe.
What a finish. Both teams now have 2 timeouts remaining. As we've seen tonight, you know, it's 2nd and 19, which for most teams is a long way to go. We've
Not
seen the
for these
Bobcats
guys.
with 2nd and 38, 3rd and 40. It doesn't seem to matter when you have Shea Moran as your quarterback and the outstanding receivers that the Bobcats have. 4 of the top 6 receivers in District 4 5A here with the San Angelo Central team.
In a game this competitive, when both teams want it so bad, it's just agony if you end up on the losing end of it when so many little things that you might have done wrong made the difference in winning and losing.
Well, and both ball clubs have done things wrong.
Exactly.
I
No
think-
matter who loses this game, they're going to tear their hair out when it's over.
Well, and the thing is, though, I'm not sure, Roger, but what both ball clubs haven't played just about as good a football game as you're capable of playing.
Here we go.
You're going to make
2nd and
mistakes in
19
big ball games.
from the 41-yard line. 59 seconds left as Moran drops. Pressured. Sacked at the 50. Instead, who was it?
Clock running at 49.
Bubba Jones, the
And
timeout will be called.
Timeout this time called by them. 49 seconds left to go in the ball game. Down to 1 timeout remaining.
Now it's going to be 3rd and forever.
3rd and, well, let's say 28, 27, 28.
10, 28 yards. 3rd and 28, I heard that number before. they made it.
That's right.
28.
I'm impressed with the stamina of the Permian defense. And now, admittedly, they haven't had to be on the field as long as the Bobcat defense, but considering the fact that they really haven't had to play a tough four-quarter game, they have kept coming hard at Shea all night long.
One thing you'll always find with Permian teams is they are well-conditioned. And that has shown through again tonight. The defense for Permian trying to get their fans up and involved in chanting for them. 3rd and 27 from the 49-yard line. 49 seconds are left in this football game. One timeout remaining for the Bobcats. Moran drops. Fumble on the play. And Permian has it. Permian has it. Bubba Jones picks it up at the 31-yard line. And the Panthers will get this football game. And it looks like the bell is headed back to Mojo.
Oh, me. Well, Shea Morant's just trying to do it all on his own.
Jerry Sims getting through there.
And he just got the ball knocked away from him. Fins knocked it away, and Bubba picked it up, almost went all the way with it. He just got his feet tangled up, and down he went.
The pressure on Shea Morant's when the Panthers knew he had to throw was what really made the difference there.
When he no longer had the play-action pass to hold those linemen in check, they pinned their ears back and came. It was just a tremendous amount of pressure.
This is the kind of play you like to see your team running at the end of the game.
Yeah, the kneel down.
Stormy Case kneels once, but that's the last time the Bobcats can stop the clock. They will do so with 38 seconds remaining. But Permian will just run it out from here on.